Oh, yeah. Hell! Get back. Get down. Dang it. Now I'm tired.
Where does Anthony Rendon land in the top 10 third baseman entering 2020? This is Fantasy Baseball Rankings 2020. What is going on, guys? My name is Brett. Today in this video, I'm going to bring the top 10 third basemen entering 2020. So before we start this video, let me down in the comment section below your list of your top 10 third basemen and compare your list to mine, and we'll see if we do have the same players, because third base is so deep. There's so many players, and there's so many players I left off my list I thought I was going to put on my list. So let me know down in the comment section below about that. If you're new around here, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This way you can receive my videos. And let's go straight into his top 10 list. So starting off the top 10, Jeff McNeil. So if you did watch my top 10 second baseman video, I did include Jeff McNeil in the top 10 second baseman, and I will include him in the top 10 third baseman as well. So Jeff McNeil plays left field, second base, and third base. So last season, he played 133 games, hit 23 home runs, drove in 75 RBIs, batted .318, OPS plus 144, and he was an all-star. Like I said in my top 10 second baseman video, you know what to expect with Jeff McNeil. It's going to be a high batting average. It's going to be above 300, and he did this for back-to-back seasons. His 2018, he only played 63 games, but he did bat .329. So you do see a pattern there with Jeff McNeil. And like I said, he is a 10th round pick. Perfect for his value, perfect as for a left fielder or a second baseman or a third baseman, because third base is so deep. Just to let you know, a little foreshadowing, that did not make my top 10 list: Manny Machado, Vlad Guerrero Jr., and also Suarez. So we're going to go straight to number 9 now. So number 9, Eduardo Escobar. Eduardo Escobar last season played 158 games, batted 35 home runs, 118 RBIs, batted .269. He had played a very good season last season for the Arizona Diamondbacks. To be honest, he was very under the radar type of player. You didn't really expect him to produce this type of numbers, but did this for back-to-back seasons. In 2018, he batted 23 home runs, 84 RBIs, batted .272 in 151 games. And he's a very underrated third baseman, like I said, just like Jeff McNeil, very underrated. His average draft position is 116.5, so he's going as a 12th rounder, and he's topping the top 10 list. Can you believe that? He does have a little bit of upside. He is a little risky pick, but with that lineup between him, Marte, and also another Marte, that lineup is going to be good. That ballpark plays for hitters, and I do expect Eduardo Escobar to produce the same numbers, maybe a little less, but he's still going to be top 10 worthy. And third base is so deep, so number 10, Eduardo Escobar. So number 8, Kris Bryant. Kris Bryant played 147 games, batted 31 home runs, drove in 77 RBIs, batted .282, OPS plus 131, and he was an all-star. So last season was a bounce-back season for Kris Bryant, because in 2018 he did get hurt with his shoulder, and he missed about 35 to 40 games, and that cost him several fantasy value. His average draft position right now is 41.5, so he's going as a 5th round. And number 8 overall value for a third baseman might be kind of high for him. What you do expect from Kris Bryant, you do expect the high runs, the high hits, a decent amount of home runs, a decent amount of power, and that batting average is going to be good. If you love Kris Bryant, you're probably going to most likely draft him. Is he going to get traded though? The Cubs lineup is still very good. That ballpark is very nice to hitters. Is he going to be traded? I don't entirely think so, because it's going to be a total wash if the Cubs actually do that. Is he going to be traded to a valuable team that's going to suit him? You never know about that, because Kris Bryant throughout the years was this high draft pick. He had very good potential, and he does produce very good numbers, but he's never been that player that's like, oh my god, this player is like a top 5 worthy. But Kris Bryant, like I said, he's a very good player. Right now, he's the 8th valuable third baseman, and third base, like I said, is so deep right now. There's so many players out there, so you can make a decision. Do you want to draft Kris Bryant in the 5th round, or do you want to save it for somebody else? But like I said, if you want to draft Kris Bryant, he's going to produce your numbers as long as he's healthy, and as long as he stays in the Cubs, or he gets traded to a better contender. So number 8, Kris Bryant. Number 7, Josh Donaldson. Last season, Josh Donaldson played 155 games, batted 37 home runs, 94 RBIs, batted .259, OPS plus 127, and he was 11th in MVP. His average draft position right now is number 94, meaning he's a 10th round pick, and he's totally worth for a 10th round pick. Josh Donaldson signed that huge contract with the Minnesota Twins, so he's going from the Braves to the Twins. So the Twins ballpark is not as friendly as towards hitters. That's why I would have put Josh Donaldson a little bit higher, but that ballpark, like I said, it's more of a pitcher-friendly ballpark. So the Braves ballpark was more of a hitters-friendly. Josh Donaldson's going into a more of a pitcher-friendly. I'm not really going to criticize the stats because of that, because he went from the A's to the Blue Jays, Indians to the Cardinals, to the Braves, now to the Twins. So he has played in hitters ballparks and also pitchers ballparks before. So Josh Donaldson is going to repeat those same numbers as long as he stays healthy. That one season 2018 where he got hurt and missed majority of the season, that's probably the only thing that's hindering his stats right now. But everything else from 2014 and onwards, he's been a very good player. He's been a top 10 third baseman ever since then, except for 2018. So I do expect Josh Donaldson to repeat those same numbers. So number 7, Josh Donaldson. Number 6, Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman last year played 156 games, batted 36 home runs, 91 RBIs. Batting average was a little low, .249, OPS plus 126. He was an all-star, he was 6th in MVP, and he won the Gold Glove. So overall, Matt Chapman is definitely like an overall package as a real-life third baseman. I say real-life because he's great offense and he's phenomenal at defense, but for fantasy baseball owners, you don't really look at the defensive numbers. Unless you're playing in a points league, which is like -1 for errors or something like that, then you might consider it, but you don't really draft for defense, you draft for offense. So right now, his average draft position is 76, meaning he's getting drafted in 8th round. Matt Chapman is definitely worth as an 8th rounder because you know what to expect from him. He's going to produce insane numbers because you know what to expect from him. What I really like about him, he's very under the radar third baseman, and he shouldn't be. He does have consideration to be in the top 5 overall third base. So according to ESPN, last season, he ranked in the top 20 qualifiers in baseball's hard contact rate, supporting his home run spike. So his .249 batting average could be very misleading. He has potential to be the top 40 overall pick. He was placed in the top 60 overall in 2019. He's definitely a top 6 third baseman. He's very undervalued, and he could be a sneaky third baseman for you. If he does repeat those same numbers, then he can raise that batting average to like a .270, .280 batting average. He is definitely top 5 worthy. If he can raise that batting average, he's going to be so worth that value, and it's going to increase his value. So number 6, Matt Chapman. So starting up the top 5, Rafael Devers. Last season, he had played a monster season. He played 156 games, 32 home runs, 115 RBIs, batted .311. His OPS plus was 133, got 54 doubles, led the league. He was 12th in MVP. Let's be honest here. As a Yankees fan, I don't like those numbers because he played a very good season, but 54 doubles, usually doubles relate to home runs the following next season. So does that mean Rafael Devers is going to hit more home runs? Not necessarily, but he does have the opportunity to hit more home runs because he showed the power last season. 54 doubles, like I said, usually does lead to more home runs. Look at Nicholas Castellanos last season. He went from the Tigers to the Cubs, and boom, he started hitting more home runs. Why? Because of the ballpark. He got so many doubles he got so many doubles as the Tigers. He goes to the Cubs, hits home runs. And Fenway Park is a very hitter's ballpark, but like I said, usually doubles does lead to more home runs. His average draft position right now is number 23. That means it's the 3rd round pick. That is really high for him. Don't necessarily think if he's going to be worth that risk because he's still young. You're not really sure what you're going to expect. As a 3rd round pick for Rafael Devers, it's a high risk, high reward. If he does repeat those numbers, just like last season, I would say go for it. But here's the kicker. Last season, the last 30 games, he batted .229 with a 23.4% strikeout rate the last 30 games. And you can say the Red Sox wasn't in contention. You can say that. You can also say Mookie Betts is not in the lineup anymore. That lineup got worse. Still have JD Martinez, you still have Xander Bogaerts, but I do expect Devers to have a good season. I don't expect him to have a monster season. If he can relate to maybe 70 to 80% of those numbers, he's going to have a good season. If you want to draft him that high, go for it. If not, you don't have to. So number 5, Rafael Devers. So number 4, Jose Ramirez. Last season was a down season from him, but that second half was his typical season. The first half, I don't know what the hell happened to him. It was a total disaster, but the second half he did pick it up and he almost produced the same numbers as he would have done. So last season he played 129 games, batted 23 home runs, 83 RBIs, batted .255, OPS plus 106. Like I said, that's very low for him, basically because he is over a 300 batting average hitter, hits over 30 home runs, he drives a lot of doubles, and his OPS plus is usually like around 140, 150. In 2017 and 2018, he was third in MVP and he won the Silver Slugger Award. So keep that in mind when you do draft Jose Ramirez. So right now his average draft position is number 26, meaning he's a third round pick. You do have that choice between Devers or Ramirez. The upside with Devers or the upside with Ramirez, because Ramirez right now is usually within the top 10 worthy overall pick when it came to like 2017, 2018. Devers might be a little risky, but he does have that upside. With Ramirez, like I said, his first 80 games, he batted .214. And like I said, his overall numbers was a .255 batting average. And when it came to the second half, he batted .321 with 18 homers and 53 RBIs. So essentially, he only hit 5 home runs the first 80 games. And the next 80 games, he hit 18 home runs. In the second half, he got 53 RBIs, meaning in the first half, he only had 30 RBIs. So that second half was amazing. He almost got his normal stats just because of the second half throughout the duration. Jose Ramirez is a bounce back candidate because his usual stats are very good. He does give you stolen bases and his batting average is going to be close to 300. And I do expect Jose Ramirez to bounce back. Lindor is still in the lineup. You also got Santana. You got Reyes. So that lineup is still very good and they're facing the Tigers and Royals about 30 to 40 games a year. They're going to have a very good season. So number 4, Jose Ramirez. Number 3, Anthony Rendon. Last season, he won the World Series, and he did his usual numbers, very under the radar, and all of a sudden he was in the playoffs in the World Series, and everyone knows about him now. He did get that monstrous contract, and last season he played 146 games, 44 doubles, 34 home runs, 126 RBIs, both career highs. His batting average .319, also career high. OPS plus 153. That is really high. He was All-Star. He was third at MVP. He won the Silver Slugger Award. So like I said, Anthony Rendon is probably on cloud 9 right now because he won the World Series. He got monstrous numbers, career high numbers, and his average draft position right now is number 18, meaning he's a second round pick. Is he worth the risk? I say go for it because second round pick, you want to pick somebody that's going to be either your best hitter or your best pitcher. Anthony Rendon can produce those type numbers. Again, because that lineup is actually pretty good for the Angels. So it looks like Tommy La Stella, Mike Trout's probably going to bat second, and Anthony Rendon's going to probably bat third. So it all depends on Ohtani, Upton, or Pujols. Who's going to be hitting behind him? I say Ohtani and maybe Upton after that. So if both those hitters are doing well, Anthony Rendon's going to do well as well. You know Mike Trout's going to do well, and you know Anthony Rendon is going to have those good seasons, but Ohtani or Upton, can they provide some protection behind him? This way he can get pitches to hit. Anthony Rendon is definitely one of those players that's very under the radar until last season. And number 3 is going to be Anthony Rendon. So number 2, Alex Bregman. Last season, he put up phenomenal numbers. So he played 156 games. he hit 41 home runs, 112 RBIs, got 119 walks. That's a lot of walks right there. His OPS plus 162. He was an all-star. He was second in MVP, and he won the Silver Slugger Award. Remember what I said when doubles relate to more home runs the following season? Alex Bregman was a perfect example. In 2018, he hit 51 doubles with 31 home runs. In 2019, he hit 37 doubles but 41 home runs. Usually when you hit 50 or 45 or higher doubles, it does correlate to the next season for more home run power. So last season was a phenomenal season for him, and like I said, 119 walks, the lowest miss rate on swings, 16%. He had an 85% contact rate, which put him in the top 20 overall. So the only problem I have with Alex Bregman, because he is on the Houston Astros, and from 2017 and also 2019, he wasn't involved with the banging and also the sign stealing. So, like last season, I wanted to draft him. I knew he's going to have an increase in power, and I know he's going to have like a top 5 season MVP. So going into 2019, I was like, I gotta draft Bregman. I never had the opportunity to draft him, and now I saw those numbers, I was like, I should have drafted him. His average draft position is 11, so he's going in the top high second round. He's either going late in the first round or high in the second round, depending on if you're pick 10, 11, or maybe 9 or 10, and you want like a high third baseman. So Alex Bregman could be the number 1 first baseman right now, but the only issue is the sign stealing, the banging. Can he correlate and repeat those same numbers? But also, you do know the fans are going to be booing him. Every single stadium is going to be chirping at him, either banging on something, yelling at him, saying any kind of name in the book. Him, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, you can name the list. Majority of the banging, the name calling, it's going to be towards those 3 players. So I do expect Alex Bregman to repeat those same numbers, but does he have the same mindset and mentality, have all those fans booing him because of the cheating and the sign stealing? So number 2 is going to be Alex Bregman. So your winner, Nolan Arenado. Nolan Arenado had a phenomenal season last season. He played 155 games, 41 home runs, 118 RBIs, batted .315. He was OPS plus 129. He was an all-star. He was 6th at MVP, and he won a Gold Glove. And overall, Nolan Arenado is the best overall third baseman available, both in real life and fantasy baseball, because he can play the offense, he has very good offense, and he's a very good fielder. The only person that could probably compete with the defense is probably going to be Matt Chapman, but this is fantasy baseball, you worry about the offensive numbers. His average draft pick right now is 11. Just like Alex Bregman, he's going into the late first round, early second round. So it is your choice. Do you want Arenado or do you want Bregman? Bregman does have the upside, but with all the sign stealing and all those banging, those numbers might actually reduce. It might get into his head. The booing, all the name calling from all the stadiums he's going to be visiting throughout the season, because the Astros are the most hated team right now. They are the Houston Astros, because all those teams are hating against them. It used to be the Yankees. Everyone used to hate the Yankees. Now everyone hates the Houston Astros right now. There's Nolan Arenado neck and neck with Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman can rise to the top. He can be number 1, but right now, Nolan Arenado is my favorite player in baseball right now because of his offense and also his defense. Nolan Arenado, you have to consider, are you in a points league or in a category league? A points league, 100% you're going to be drafting Nolan Arenado. A category league, it's going to be tough because Nolan Arenado is going to be your first pick, and it's going to be tough. Are you going to be choosing a all home runs, RBIs, hits, and batting average, but no stolen bases attempts? Usually your first hitter, you want some kind of stolen bases. Nolan Arenado is not going to steal for you. He's known for the power, the high average, and I do expect him to repeat these same numbers. And if he's there, you got to pick him up, unless it's like someone else that's higher than him that's still available. Because Nolan Arenado is a very good player. He's going to hit 40 home runs. He's going to drive in close to 120, 130 RBIs every single season and bat over 300. favorite. And he's going to be for the All-Stars. He's going to be in the top 5 worthy for MVP. And he's great. He's absolutely great for points, categories besides stolen bases. So let me know down in the comment section below. How was your list? Compare your list to mine. Was it the same top 10 players? Because third base is so deep. There's so many players. I left so many players off my list, like Manny Machado, Suarez, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Justin Turner. The list goes on and on. There's so many good players for third base this year. You won't go wrong if you pick someone within the top 15, because there's so many great players available. So let me know down in the comment section below, how was your list compared to mine? Was it all the same players? Was it a little bit different? If you're new around here, subscribe, hit that notification bell just so you can receive my videos. You can always follow me on Twitter, TheBrettBurnz, and also Instagram, TheBrettBurnz. I did get my Facebook back. I always got the Patreon available. If you want shoutouts, it's only $2 a month. Your name will be at the end of this video if you do register for Patreons. And I always got my t-shirts. Both of those links will be in the description below. And if you do enjoy this video, leave a like, pass along these videos. It really helps me grow. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys. Thank you. Bye.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is just for us now. I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. So right. I'm just going with the gut. Never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.